we should examine it whether all these number of changes which Morgan Stanley has analyzed and summarized, whether it is actually happening or not. So this is very, very clear from the last couple of years. Where does India stand?
Yes.
If we look into basic data, I mean telling, because they have used the India has arrived in the world stage, which is true. Now, India is a top 5 economy in GDP wise. I will also give, okay, until unless these factors are not giving result on a instantly or within a year, it takes time. So impact what was happening in 2014, 16, 18 is giving result now, like PLI schemes or digitization, or we can say supply side help, so insolvency and other things. So all these things are giving result. And we can see the last couple of 5 years, let's say, our GDP growth rate.
Yes.
If we look into last 5 years, we are in the range of something around 8 to, we were having 6% to 10%. Only in 1 year, 2020, we were having a negative because the COVID worldwide,
Yes.
everybody has faced that problem. So we are not different, but we can say it was varying from 8% to again 7.2% if we leave 2020. And during that 2020 also, we are not the only company or India country which is having this negative. There are many countries like even US or other countries were having, except major economy, I will say exception was China, which is 2.2% GDP growth. But India was having 6% negative, others were having 3%, 4% negative. And one of the reasons why it was negative 6%, because previous year our growth was around 10%. So with that, comparatively, it was a major. But if we look at otherwise, it is a growth is above 6% and we are continuously there. So this is one of the parameter. And you will be, everybody knows that this year 23, when this period, because we are not calculating GDP growth in a year, we are calculating financial year 22-23. Our growth is 7.2, which is highest among the top 10 countries or the major economy in the world. The next is China and other countries. So we are 7.2%. So it shows that these and the policies which government has taken had really make a difference. Another point, which is also we have to look into that whether things are really happening or not. If we look at our economic GDP, which we have already discussed, we are in the top 5, which is also saying. Then this year, our CAD was well within the limit of 6.7%, which was our target, and we achieved that. That also shows the government is strictly following our system and having a major control over the expenses and other revenue. So revenue side, it has increased, and they had also increased the capex investment. And in spite of that, our current account deficit is well within limit of 6.2%, which was the target. In spite of so many, we can say, Russia-Ukraine war and other things, still we are able to maintain that. So these are the parameters which shows that yes, we are policies are not only on paper but also actually it is happening.
गिरीश जी, मैं आपसे एक सवाल करना चाहूंगा, और ये सवाल मैं करना चाहूंगा बेसिकली जीएसटी के ऊपर। और मेरा पर्सनल असेसमेंट, मतलब जितनी मैक्रो इकोनॉमी मैंने पढ़ी है, उसमें बिल्कुल क्लियर कट मुझे लगता है कि जो पूरा गेम चेंजर है इस इकोनॉमी के लिए, वो है बेसिकली जीएसटी कलेक्शन। जितना पैसा जीएसटी के थ्रू आ रहा है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन के पहले इतना टैक्स कलेक्शन नहीं होता था। ऑब्वियसली कहीं ना कहीं से उसमें पिलफरेज होता होगा, तभी इतना टैक्स कलेक्शन नहीं होता था। और अब इतना पैसा जो आ रहा है, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और मेजर जो डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, उनके ऊपर जो एक्सपेंस गवर्नमेंट कर रही है। अदरवाइज आप देखो, हर तरफ तो कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है, कहीं रोड बन रही है, कहीं रेल बन रही है, कहीं वंदे भारत बन रहा है, एयरपोर्ट बन रहा है। मतलब 10 लाख करोड़ का मुझे लगता है पिछले जो बजट है उसमें टोटल ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर उन्होंने रखा हुआ है 10 लाख करोड़। मतलब अब आपको क्या लगता है, इज दैट द गेम चेंजर? और मैं रियली आई डोंट नो, आई चेक्ड अप, तो अरुण जेटली वाज द वन जिसके टाइम पे ये जीएसटी इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था, बट आई थिंक वी मस्ट गिव ड्यू क्रेडिट टू निर्मला सीतारमन आल्सो। जीएसटी का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल द हिकअप्स बड़ा जबरदस्त रहा है। योर कमेंट ऑन दिस?
See, let's understand one point. We are having a lot of difference of opinion among number of political parties and with the respect to our economist and policy maker and decision makers. But GST is one of the point there the decisions are unanimous. Means decisions are unanimous means all the political parties ruled by different political parties, whether it is Chhattisgarh, whether it is Punjab, whether it is Bengal, whether it is UP, whether it is Himachal, they all are, hardly 7 or 8 states are ruled by directly by BJP. Rest are by different political parties. But GST Council is having a chief minister and a member from all the states, and all those decisions are happening with the unanimous decision. Most of this decision that shows people for a political purpose are doing or telling something, but states are getting their due benefits and they are getting better than what was predicted. Yes, during COVID period, and those 2 years were difficult because that period the expected return was lower because all over world in India, our economy was in a very bad shape. We were not having any business and only expenses were there. Industries were closed down and other thing. But in spite of that, their collection. So which is also showing every year the collection is increasing 1.2 lakhs crore to 1.4 to 1.5. Now this year we are having an average of 1.5 lakhs. So it shows there is a continuous increase. In between, they have also rationalized some of the bracket. Means some of the items were reduced from 28% to 18%, other thing. So still there is a scope to further optimize it. And it is, let's say, we have to understand one more point that if we optimize, means lower the rate of taxes,
Yes.
public comes back into the thing and then increase. So it is like good example if we have taken is that income tax. Earlier we were having an income tax, everybody was having a higher rate, but now it has reduced to 30%. Another thing, but still collection is more. So more and more people are coming into this and they are paying. So that is one part. Second thing, digitization has helped us to trace it from start to end, and that is also pilferage is low. And then once it is going back to the state as per their generation and other thing, the states are also happy. So it is a situation where states, central government, and the agencies who are working on it, they are keep on improving it, and that's the reason there are certain rationalizations taking place in the terms of percentage. Also it is helping government to increase their capex. Now as you rightly said, 10 lakhs crore, which is 3.3% of the Indian GDP, which is very high if we look into the capital investment. But having said that, now it is not, this is also caution, we have to be very careful that this momentum should not be broken down. Why I'm telling this particular thing, that if somebody is getting this money, there is a two ways, whether you invest into capital which will increase your revenue in future terms, or you just go into a normal salary and other things. What will happen? That does not give a productivity. So now old pension scheme or some freebies or some other kind of a scheme can reduce your productivity. And if your productivity is reduced, it will have an impact on your tax collection. So one has to be very, very careful that capital investment, which increase the productivity of a state, of the country, should not be tampered with, and one should have a discipline, a financial or discipline, not to go with a popular move and uh, halt this progress which is happening. Because once this money is there, then only you can go and reinvest for the welfare of the public. So this is one of the point I would like to say. And just on the report which was there, they had also highlighted some of the we say caveat, or what we can say, some of the risk factor. One is global recession. Now we are seeing that war impact, and other things. If worldwide global recession is there, India can also have an impact, which is one point. Second thing is fragmentation general election result of 2024, which is
Okay.
very, very important. We should feel कि okay, once this scheme and these policies are there, so we are in auto mode, irrespective of whichever party comes into power, we will continue. No, it is not like that. To give an analogy, we are having the same team. When captains were different, Saurabh Ganguly came in, there is a results were different. When the similar thing happens later on, when the teams were going through a different phase, when MS Dhoni came in and the results are different. So one
Yes.
should not say it's only the player, it is the captain. Means the central government should have a clear vision and the policies to not only get the best out of the player. So here we have to continue to monitor it, improve those things. Until unless we do that, this is not an autopilot mode, and the country will not take few years to reverse back into that. I'll just give few examples so that public should understand. During 98 to 2004, NDA government, when Mr. Atal Bihari Bajpai was the prime minister, they have started focus on the infrastructure, because prior to that, hardly we were having a road and other thing, which is 4 lane and other thing. We were happy with that 60 kilometer per speed, and things were moving. But
Yes.
it was not only for the personal, but for the cargo, which was a difficult. So they have started a quadrilateral program right from all Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and right from Bengal to Gujarat side, Assam. So, but unfortunately, when the result, the government changed, it was not the priority of the UPA government, and all the process, all the efforts or the focus shifted from infrastructure, and we again came back to the same 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer kind of per day
Oh.
road construction
Mm.
during UPA. But but this was a this took our country back, because other countries were moving fast and we were not able to do that. And then when the again NDA Modi government came in, they put tremendous efforts, Mr. Gadkari and his team, and we are seeing its result now. So this is one of the examples that if the government change, the policy also get changed. Another happens in the state also. For example, when the Samajwadi Party government was there during 2000, they have given a lot of and efforts for the generation of power, because UP was electricity deprived and many other states were like that. So they had given many coal-based and other power plants. But again, when the government changed and BSP government came, and all those licenses were cancelled, and unfortunately, all those industries went into a NPA, and now they all are into insolvency and other thing. So
Yes.
not only power, your requirement has been reduced, but you have problem. Similar thing happened again in Andhra Pradesh also, which is also one of the leading state, when Telugu Desam Party, Chandrababu Naidu was the leader. He initiated a lot of solar power based power purchase agreement, and to increase the power requirement of the Andhra, because they are based and have naturally they are having advantage of power, solar power. But when the government changed this policy, all these licenses were cancelled. So all those people who was invested in land and other thing, now they are facing problem. So what I mean to say, this fragmented or results or this kind of a thing can derail this process. So we
Yes.
have to be very, very careful that we should choose those parties, those leaders who are having a vision. They should not play with the economy of the country. Politics is a different, but economy of the country is a different point. And another point is sharp rise in the commodity price. Means like if oil prices or steel or copper and other thing can have an adverse impact, and short supply of the skilled labor. Now, when we are growing, so we need skilled labor in not only in construction but in all other fields. So we have to continuously upgrade our skill and see that we are having sufficient manpower to meet those requirements which are coming up in next decades and so. And we can also see the advantage of these policies, that per capita income, which is roughly $2,000 as of now, can be $5,200 per person per capita by 2030 if these policies remain in this mode. And similarly, we are also having GDP also has to be grow in the same way. I'll also like to tell one point, we are reached, but it is not the end of this thing. It is the start of that process. We have to continue on this and continually improve it. We should not seek it. This is the best. No, this is the start of it, start of the journey, and we have to continuously modify it, improve it, so that this we are better and remain competitive with our peers worldwide, not in India but other countries, because it is not we. Other countries are also doing best, and we have to survive and fight with the best, whether it is China, whether it is Singapore, whether it is Taiwan or Germany, Japan, whatever. So we have to continuously work on it. Then only we can maintain this momentum.
मॉर्गन स्टैनली की रिपोर्ट और गिरीश जी का इंटरप्रिटेशन दोनों आपने देखा, तो इसके बाद को आपको क्या इंप्रेशन पड़ता है इंडियन गवर्नमेंट की, स्पेशली फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस को लेके? ऑफ कोर्स जो मॉर्गन स्टैनली की रिपोर्ट है वो बड़ी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव है और बहुत सारे सेक्टर को कवर करती है, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का तो स्पेशली जो नितिन गडकरी का रोल है उसको आप किसी भी तरीके से नेग्लेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बट ओवरऑल आपको कोई इसमें बड़े कोई फाइनेंशियल विजार्ड नहीं है इस कैबिनेट में, और आप निर्मला सीतारमन को भी फाइनेंशियल विजार्ड नहीं कह सकते, बट इन द ओवरऑल फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ कैबिनेट there is no doubt that performance of the overall scenario is really outstanding। और इसमें ऑफ कोर्स टीम कैप्टन का रोल तो होता ही है, जैसे गिरीश जी ने कहा। एंड एज ए फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर, निर्मला सीतारमन may have done reasonably good job. She may not be that flamboyant, or probably people may not pay much attention what she says about. But overall, अगर आप देखो तो इस टीम की परफॉर्मेंस और कैप्टन की परफॉर्मेंस अपने आप में बहुत अच्छी रही, और मॉर्गन स्टैनली की जो रिपोर्ट है वो ही यही इंडिकेट करती है। और गिरीश जी ने जो दूसरा सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट बताया वो है कॉन्टिन्यूटी का और स्टेबिलिटी का। आई एम श्योर इंडियंस विल रिमेंबर, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि अगर कैप्टन चेंज होता है तो परफॉर्मेंस वैसी ही आएगी जैसा उन्होंने सौरव गांगुली का एग्जांपल देके बताया। होप यू लाइक दिस interpretation of Girish Bajpai. It was really a wonderful discussion with him. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in next week. Thank you so much.